Wow. Prettiest front kick KO ever. I'm sorry, Anderson Silva fans. His front kick KO does not hold a candle to the technique that I just saw right there. Welcome back, guys. Today I have a really exciting segment for you. We're gonna go back to 2002 to 2007 K1 Max era, the heyday of kickboxing. I think one of the best times ever. And today's gonna be extra special because we're gonna look at 3 crazy awesome KOs. So just let me bring them up on my computer and we'll get started. All right, guys, first up, Buakaw versus Ashido. If you don't know the name Buakaw, you need to YouTube him, you need to check him out. He's been one of my role models, one of the idols that I had in kickboxing for so long. He's still competing. I think he's only a few years older than me, but he would have started so young, probably at 6 or 7 competing. And then now I guess he'd be close to 36 or 37, and he's still an animal. In this fight, his opponent's not quite as high level as the other guys he's been fighting, and probably a little undersized, but let's check it out, see what happens. So here we go. Now, one of the main things that I would always caution people of in a fight is if you're going to come out at a fast pace, a really high pace, still keep that defense in mind. That should be the primary concern in the first 10-15 seconds. Look at him, he's just coming out flying. And that kick just missed. Oh! And that's it. Wow. Just see how fast, how quickly somebody can get KO'd when you're not giving your opponent the proper respect. And when you're fighting somebody like Buakaw, you have to give him respect. Not so much that you just shy away and let him fight his fight, but you definitely need to get respect for your opponent's power, their speed. Attacking that quickly just seems reckless to me. And whenever I come out in a fight really fast, really hard, I always still make sure defense is the #1 thing I'm focusing on. Let's check out the replay here. He just runs right in, right hand down on that left hook. I love this stare. Look at this death stare. Whap! Goes down, just eyeballing him. And Buakaw isn't even known for his hands. He's a kicker, really. But you still have to respect his power and his ability. Okay, let's move on to the next fight. All right, guys, next fight up. Who do we have here? On the right, Kokiri, one of the big names through the K1 Max era. He fought everybody, but never really got the wins against the best guys, but was still right there. His opponent, Neda, was more on the Japanese K1 circuit, not as big a name, not quite as skilled, but I mean, all these guys that you see in K1 are just amazing. So Kohi was really known for his front kicks. And he wasn't the most active fighter. That was a nice front kick to the stomach there. He wasn't the most active fighter. He would pick apart, look for the openings. It's been a while since I've watched this. Oh! Well, now that is what a front kick should look like. You see guys who watch the UFC, they're like, oh, Anderson Silva, the prettiest front kick ever in the world. No, that was the prettiest front kick KO that I have ever seen. We need a replay on that. Because as you guys know, I love throwing front kicks to the face, but I've never landed anything that dramatic. What does he do differently than I do? And I might be wrong, but yeah, if they're dropping all that, it's probably the end of a tournament. So that was probably his 3rd fight that night, which means, in all fairness, the other guy who just got KO'd probably fought 3 times. So it's a little harder to avoid crazy front kicks like that. He probably would have had a lot more difficulty landing that if it was against a fresh opponent. The dude potentially already fought 6 rounds that night. Let's try and find a replay here. See what he did to open his opponent up. All right, here we go. Oh, interesting. So he just clips him on the edge of the jaw, but he did something with his hands. Look, he threw both hands out, and his opponent came in for a counter shot. So he was at a closer distance. Both hands reach out. The guy goes to counter. So he threw the front kick at a very close range. The range which his opponent probably didn't think that he would have a front kick to the jaw at that close distance. Wow. Prettiest front kick KO ever. Woo. All right, next up we have Andy Souwer, two-time K1 Max champion, versus Drago. And looks like we're starting in round 2. These guys are so sharp. You're gonna notice their defense. Their defense is just top notch. Hands always right back to their head. Very rarely leaving holes open. Generally noticing K1 that the guys take a few more low kicks. They don't check quite as often. They seem mostly focused on the head defense. So that was a nice cross. Oh, and a nice counter there in the middle. These two guys here are just, they're a great fight for each other. Just action-packed guaranteed. They're going to be in each other's faces. They're going to be throwing. There's going to be very little clench. Nice combo. Andy Souwer in the long pants is basically the king of combination work. So good at putting together 5-6 punches, following with a low kick. Drago not quite as technical, but just a beast. Whoa! Jeez, what, I don't even... Wait, we gotta rewind that back. See this one more time. Nice combo. They're bombing away. Nice low kick. Ah, they switched camera angles. Right on the punch. Whoa, he is done. All right, we got to get a replay of that. All right, let's see what happened here. Oh, let's pause. All right, this is the classic Andy Souwer. I'm going to call this punch a corkscrew punch. You slip to the inside of your opponent's jab, which generally you would slip to the outside, but on this you slip to the inside. And then when you slip to the inside, I'll restart this here, you throw a cross over your partner's jab, or your opponent's jab. So you come to the inside, the guy's on the attack, he doesn't really think a counter's coming at that point. Inside, right to the head, turn the right hand over as you're throwing it, corkscrew punch. Ooh, beautiful. I think I just saw somebody do something similar to this in the UFC on the weekend, UFC 244. Oh, geez, and look at that. It's a tournament too. So that was his first fight of the night. There's 2 more to go that night if he wants to win the tournament. I can't remember which year this is, maybe 2007. All right, guys, there you go. 3 big KOs from the K1 Max era. Like I said before, this is the organization that I grew up watching. This is how I learned so much about fighting. If you haven't watched K1 before, make sure you YouTube 4 champions, Albert Kraus, Andy Souwer, Bokao, and the Japanese superstar Masato. You can learn so much about kickboxing by watching these guys, and they all have such different styles, which makes it really exciting. If you guys enjoyed this Kickboxing KO segment, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Ask for another one. If I get enough feedback, I'll put together maybe 3 or 4 more fights, or get somebody to put them together for me, and we'll do it again. Until next time, guys, train hard, and I'll see you back here again soon.